e-tron GT. I'm going to be answering all your questions about this vehicle. We do have some questions that were asked on Instagram. You can follow me there. It's at MilesPerHr, just like this. TikTok as well. Post videos on there almost daily, as much as I can. But this
We got a new member.
Oh yes, that's right. Thank you, Patrick. We have Yulia.
No, the other way around.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Shelly, Sheila or Shelly? Sheila Yulia.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you. I was gonna be. I'm sorry, Sheila Yulia. Thank you so much for becoming a new MilesPerHr member. And folks, if you want to join Sheila, it would be super helpful to the channel. Just supports what I do, the cameras, the equipment, and yeah, it would be super helpful. So consider becoming a member there or on Patreon. And we're going to get into the e-tron GT. This one has the performance pack, by the way, so we get some other goodies that we'll talk about in the video.
Okay, first question from Instagram. Sportback or regular trunk? Jaden asked.
Yeah, so it is a good question because with the sloping roofline, you could see it either way. It does have a traditional trunk, so you open it up here, and it's not the biggest trunk in the world. I think it's 11.
Too much.
Oh yeah, sorry, glare.
Yeah.
But it's like 11 cubic feet of space. You do have some really deep cubbies on the left and right hand sides, and if you lift this up, this is also really deep. So you've got a nice little storage bin in there. The charge cables for them, they kind of just clipped them on to the D-rings over there, and so that's how they stay from moving around, but it's not a big trunk. My wife and I did manage to get 3 suitcases, 1 big one and 2 small ones, and then some other stuff in the back seat, and our daughter in her car seat coming back from the airport in this. So you can make it work. It's just not a huge trunk.
Okay,
that was from Jaden, right?
Yes, from Jaden. Is this the most beautiful car on the earth?
Andre asked if this is the most beautiful car on planet Earth. The most beautiful? No. I do think it is striking. I like it better than the styling of its sister mate, the Porsche Taycan. I think, the edginess of the e-tron GT it just works even better for this platform for me. I especially love the face. With the performance pack, the grille is all blacked out, and it goes better with these like blade designs here than having a different color grille. It kind of just all flows. And this is like, I say this in my drive impressions video that I'll have coming out along with the test drive and a night drive, so look forward to those. It's like, it looks like a Stormtrooper special to me.
Yeah.
It's like, it's very much got that vibe, the menace in the face, but yeah, I like how this one's spec'd out. I like the styling of this vehicle a lot. It's so low too. Audi says this has the second lowest roof line in its whole lineup. So that means the R8 is the only thing with a lower roof line than the e-tron GT. So it sits lower than the A7, it's wider than the A7. It looks sick.
Someone asks, how is the light show when you start it up? You think you could see it, or?
Let's see, I mean.
Maybe for your POV?
Yeah, so like I don't know if I do any light show startup stuff in my videos, so at least we'll do this. So when I unlock it.
Hopefully you can see it. Oh yeah.
Okay, so
that's cool.
They kind of pulse, and then they open up. You can see that on the camera?
Yeah, you can see it.
Okay, so they're just locking it. We'll see that. Do you want me to do it again?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Unlock, pulse, and then it goes up. And then from the tail, I'm not sure if anything happens on the tail.
Oh yeah. Check that too. Hey Dylan, how you doing? Dylan said hi.
Thank you, Dylan, for joining. Thanks for anyone who was tuned in. Okay, so that's lock, unlock. Nothing. Nothing really exciting at the rear. At least, yeah, not in these settings. But at the front, you do get that pulse.
Dylan asked, what is the tire compound?
This is a Pirelli Cinturato P7. I'd not heard of that, but they're staggered stance, 245 front, 285 rear. And I found the tires to be perfectly adequate. I mean, it really helps that there's so much weight so down low in this vehicle. You're just not getting much in terms of loss of traction. You have to be pushing this thing so hard, doing really dumb stuff. You've got all-wheel drive because of the 2-motor setup and weight being so low and wide 285 section tires to the rear.
Game launcher asks, it has light. Why does the US limit the functionality?
So laser lights. Yeah, so it's just, I don't know. I'm not a regulator, so I don't know why they say that the functionality of laser lights, which are able to like project super far and like move lights around objects in the European Union. Why we can't do that in the US, I don't know, but we have the technology baked in, at least this one with the performance pack, it's the laser lights. So the moment that US says, yeah, we approve that, Audi can do a software update and we'll be able to use that on our cars.
Dylan asked, are there any fake vents?
These are real. These up here are blocked off and fake, but then below that is real. They did a really good job of not using fake ventilation. And then this over here, so this is a channel cooling the front brakes and tires, and then this is taking some turbulent air off the back, because this is a functional vent.
You couldn't even see it.
Yeah, this is a functional vent as well. Yeah, so it's kind of really well integrated in the design. And then they didn't feel the need to do any fake vents at the rear, so they just kind of did this chunky diffuser thing, but no fake vents in the back. So they did a great job. There's not really fake vents.
AJ Lee said the styling was better in photos. Now that it's been released, it looks odd.
I mean,
maybe better rims, like bigger rims probably could look better.
So these wheels I don't love. Yeah, I don't love these wheels. They're just okay. But I saw the RS wheels were really cool. So I drove the RS e-tron GT. If you guys missed that, I've got a Canyon/rain drive in that one that I did months ago. I got a really early preview of that car. And the wheels on that one looked way better. So I think, yeah, the set of wheels could help a lot. I think that styling in person is actually awesome. I think it looks great. The rear end, to Patrick's point, is like not my favorite look. I think there's something about the diffuser that looks a little funky, because above that I think it looks good, but I love the hips. It's got super, super wide hips. I like how it looks.
Oh, sorry. Andy asked, what is the range of this and miles?
Okay, so the range of the e-tron GT is 238 miles, and I think a lot of people were expecting more, but if you think that the Taycan, the 4S, kind of the equivalent of this vehicle in power and setup, only gets 227 miles, then we probably shouldn't have expected a lot more from this platform. It's not a massive battery pack at 85 kilowatts. It's not huge. Like the EQS is using a 108 kilowatt battery pack, and there are other vehicles that are using much, much bigger battery packs. So 250 miles, I think if you really were driving super efficient, you could probably manage that in this vehicle. It's proved pretty real world what their estimates are in my driving. So it's like, it's kind of hitting that right in there, 230, 240.
A Love Supreme Coltrane asks, is it better than the Model S?
I haven't driven the Plaid. I have driven the regular Model S, and yes, this is better. I think it looks better. I think the interior is nicer, and it's got way more driver feedback. But I don't want to like completely spoil it, because guys, I will have a POV drive review coming out soon.
Music asks, how much is the horsepower and torque?
462 normally, but there's an overboost to 522 with the e-tron GT. The RS e-tron GT makes like 620 with its overboost. It's a lot. And 465 pound-feet normally, 479 with the overboost. Do we want to check out the interior? I feel like it's probably now about that time. So this is the rear seat setup. Any questions about the interior we've got coming in, guys?
What's the horsepower again? Sorry, someone just
522 with the overboost, 462 normally.
Tubbo asks, when the battery percentage goes down, does the power decrease like the Teslas?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I mean, we'll go see this when we take it out for a drive, but I have not noticed, I've not noticed a difference in performance. I feel like when I launch it, right now we're at like 48% battery life or even less. It feels just as punchy, hits just as hard as when it was at 100.
How do you feel in the back?
So the back seats they're like the Taycan in that they're all like sport bucket style. You've got this fifth middle seat in this one. The headroom is the issue for me. So like my head's on the roof here. I can't get my head fully back, but the legroom is great. So anyone with a smaller torso, so I'm 6 feet tall, anyone with a smaller torso or just smaller size in general will be fine. But even long legs, like I've got all this extra space, and the foot pockets are good size. Like the back seats would be comfy if not for the headroom stitch.
Dylan asked,
What?
Does it have Alcantara on the wheel? If it does, how does it feel?
Yeah, it does. So
Someone
let's go.
posted something funny.
What did they say?
Wow, Miles is right. Those hips are wide.
They are. It's super wide, and it looks super wide because the greenhouse is kind of narrow, and then it like flares out a lot. So yeah, so the steering wheel is wrapped in Alcantara, and this is standard. This, you don't have to pay extra for it to be wrapped like this. And I also love, like, the flat bottom looks cool, and the rim thickness, they didn't like overdo it. It's like the perfect size for your hands to go in. And then I think it was also Dylan who was asking in Instagram about
the paddles.
the sound of the paddles.
Yeah.
So they are made of aluminum. They sound solid, and more importantly, they feel really solid. So when you pull on the paddles, it feels like high quality. It doesn't feel like it's going to break in your fingers.
Let's see. Luke Taylor asked, does the interior have any wood materials?
You can get it with wood. This one has carbon fiber with the performance package, but yeah, you can have this with wood instead.
AJ Lee asked, how are the interior materials and if there's any hard plastics?
So hard plastics are kind of few and far between. I mean, there's some, like the gloss black here is not wood, so these are going to be harder plastics around the wheel, and there's a little bit of give when you press on that. This gloss black feels really solid. Like, there's no give to this at all. This does not feel cheap in any way. Around the air vents, you got a little bit of creaking happening here. The carbon fiber is not creaking at all. That's impressive because it wants to give that stuff typically. But the gloss black, you guys know how I feel about it, right? Like the dust collection, they'd used kind of a lot in this console area, so this is going to get all scratched up. It's going to get dusty all the time. It shows your fingerprints. That's not great. But I would say the material quality in here is phenomenal.
Yeah,
like everything.
Typical Audi. I mean,
yeah, like good quality stuff.
Good quality stuff.
And not like, I know Cameron always wants to ask about the creaks, and I love that question, but I'm not getting much. There's a little give here, little give around the air vents, and that's it.
Andy asked, how big are the cup holders, or is that for your video?
I'll do a big bottle test in this for sure, but they are not huge. This one, oh, they are both the same size. Actually, the cup holders from this console back here are bigger than the fronts. So these are bigger cup holders, but yeah, they're bigger in the back.
Let's see, someone had a good question. Oh, about merch. Let's see, hold on, let me try to find that person.
Oh,
So
they were asking about my merch?
Yeah, when will the MilesPerHr merch be available?
Yeah, anytime, guys. It's on all my videos. Just below my videos, you get this Spring is the name of the company that advertises my shirts. You can get a shirt in a whole bunch of different colors. You can get a sticker. You can get all sorts of merch, guys. So it's just under all my videos. And yeah, please go support the brand that way. It would be super helpful. I'd really appreciate it.
There's a question by Game Launcher. How do you think the plug-in powertrains compares to the full electric powertrains?
So I guess the question there is, like, is there any point, right? Is there any point to a plug-in hybrid version of something? And I think it really depends on your lifestyle. If all you're doing is doing short trips 99% of the time, then I think there is a really good use case for plug-in powertrain, because if you only need, a lot of them are getting like 50 miles of range. If you only need 50 miles for 99% of your stuff, but you want to go on a long road trip and not have to go and plug in, then you're going to have the gas powertrain to take over after the electric juice runs out. Then I say, yeah, like, absolutely go for it. But it really depends on your lifestyle. If you're hitting tons of range all the time, then you're going to want to either go full EV, or at this point, like, hold off on going electric beyond just a hybrid, a conventional hybrid setup. Because if you're going over that 50 miles of range, it's like you're using the gas power anyway. Like, what's the point, you know?
Music asks, what is the pricing of this car without the performance pack?
103 is the starting figure for the e-tron GT, no performance pack. Premium GT is the kind of baseline level, but the Premium GT comes with a lot of stuff. The carbon fiber, yes, is part of the performance pack, but everything else you're seeing in the interior is standard.
Okay. Dylan asks, how's the infotainment system?
Perfect time for me to start up the vehicle. So you get this 12...
Oh, they wanted to hear, you can't hear anything, right? Oh,
no.
You can.
Oh, well, okay, you hear the hum of the vehicle on the outside. Yeah. Inside, you hear nothing.
Okay.
Like, there's no noise that you get on startup. So I was just in the, and guys, look for this tomorrow, by the way. Mercedes AMG EQS. I
Oh,
drove the
they're little.
AMG EQS. I have a drive for you at 3 p.m. PST tomorrow because that's when the embargo lifts. I wanted to post it at 6 a.m., but Mercedes said no, we got to wait until 3 p.m. So look for that, guys. The AMG 53 EQS is coming tomorrow. But anyway, I referenced that car because when you start that one up, you get like this whole, like it's a really cool noise when you start it up. In the e-tron GT, you don't get anything, but someone asked about the infotainment.
Yes,
You
Dylan
get
asked.
You get a 10 point, oh, thanks Dylan. You get a 10.1 inch touchscreen infotainment here, and this is great Audi stuff. Like, I love the haptic feedback. So when you press on something, you get like this sense like, okay, I'm pressing into the screen and my message is being received. The graphics are good. It's responsive. Apple CarPlay takes over the whole screen and it's wireless. Android Auto you still have to plug in, but that's not really an issue. And then the gauge cluster here is really high resolution. Like, I think this is the most high resolution head-up display gauge cluster, digital gauge cluster I've ever seen.
Instagram question.
Okay.
Is the range really only 265 miles, Philip Basque?
Yeah, so Philip, it's actually even worse than that. It's not 265, it's 238. So 238 in the e-tron GT, 232 in the RS e-tron GT. And like I said, I've been seeing that to be pretty true in real world. I'm not getting any more range, much more range than that. I'm not driving it like I'm trying to hypermile it though, and I'm not getting much less even with a little bit of performance driving.
Another question from Instagram. Self-driving park assist, Scoot 14 asks.
So it does have adaptive cruise control because this one has the driver assistance package, and it has a lane keep assist system. It does not have a steering assist system, so you can't ever take your hands off the wheel because all it's going to do is ping pong between the lane markings. There's not anything that's going to keep you in the center of the lane, so the self-driving is not really here apart from adaptive cruise control. And it does have a park assist feature. I think, I may be wrong, this one does not. It has an optional park assist feature. This one doesn't have the like parallel and perpendicular parking for you.
Another question from Instagram. Does it have ambient lighting? Uber, Lyft?
No ambient lighting.
What?
So, I looked all over this vehicle. So yeah, no standard ambient lighting. I think it's an option, and I think it's standard on the RS e-tron GT, but it also, like, I think I saw it in the RS e-tron GT, and it's very minor. There's not really any big, bright ambient lighting like you get in Mercedes-Benz vehicles.
Okay, another question from Instagram from Fog.
Mm-hmm.
How's the performance at 50%? Any chance or any change compared to 100%?
Yeah, so someone else asked this question, and it's like, I haven't noticed any real change. I didn't pull out, my tester for 0 to 60 at 50%. I did at 100%, and I got right there what they were estimating at 3.8. I got 3.9. It's fine. But I haven't tested it at 50%. I have not, from the seat of my pants, noticed a difference in performance, like acceleration.
Let's see. Andy asked, would you rate the steering wheel from 1 to 10?
Oh my gosh, this is a good wheel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 8 because I still don't like the smudgy gloss black on here. The paddles could be bigger. That would be more fun. Obviously, they're not changing anything except your regen braking because it's an EV. But the rim, I would rate the rim of the wheel 10 out of 10. The flat bottom, the perfect thickness, the Alcantara wrapping, it feels so good. And then, as we'll see in my driver view, the steering feedback is awesome.
Music, as their long wheelbase version of the GT?
No, there's only this one wheelbase version, and as you saw back there, like, I had plenty of legroom. It's more of a headroom situation. It's such a low roof line. They did cut out portions of the battery here to shape it so that you do have places where your feet go down, and so my knees aren't pitched up super high, but it's the headroom that's the problem.
Mohammed, the price is 103?
103 to start. Yeah, this one is as tested 109 with the performance pack and the driver assistance package.
Game Launcher asks, does it have air suspension?
Yes, 3-chamber air suspension is standard in the e-tron GT.
Same.
As is this glass roof, which is fixed, but it looks really cool, right?
Let's see.
And we can also
Okay,
head out
cool.
if we don't have any more styling
Well,
questions.
I'm going back on stuff on
Okay.
the questions. Wesley asks, how much horsepower does it have?
522 with the overboost, 462 normally.
Okay. All right, let's do the drive.
All right.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, cool. Is that too tight for you in that seat? Do you want to go in the back, or are you okay?
No, I'm good here.
Okay.
Or maybe it'll be too close and stuff, because...
Well, try reclining the seat like all the way and see if that helps. It's still just crazy to me. Like, we're sitting in a car that's on right now. Like,
Is it on?
It's fully on.
Oh, no way.
And it's just silent.
Super silent.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I might have to go in the back.
Can we go in the back?
Yeah, because it's too close.
Okay.
Sorry,
I'll
guys.
move your seat up for you.
Sorry, guys. Oh yeah, I think those would be better.
Better?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
All right, guys.
Yeah, you can see. Yep.
So you just
Much
go to
better.
drive by just pulling back on this selector here. That's very intuitive, super easy to use. And, you know, you get a little bit of noise as you start driving, but there's no, like I was in this AMG thing, and they have got these sound experiences, different modes for your noise, and there isn't really any change to the soundtrack based on your drive mode, even though you've got, you know, dynamic and comfort and auto.
What was the true miles on this? The range?
I'm seeing it pretty true to the 230 to 240 range. Audi estimates 238. I'm seeing right around there.
Can you play music? People want to, I don't know what you want to listen.
Yes. I don't have my phone hooked up to it right now. You're using my phone, so
Oh.
I can't play. I
Yeah.
can't play much music because I don't want to
Copyright.
deal with the royalties.
Yeah.
But let's see.
I like the sound it makes.
Yeah, like it's not a bad noise. Oops. All right, we're listening to holiday tunes. Let's see. Let's go to Sirius XM chill. So this is the standard sound system in the e-tron GT. I cannot remember the number of speakers or the wattage output, but this is the standard setup. It's not the Bang & Olufsen system that you can upgrade to, but it's really good
Yeah,
for
it's
a
good.
standard sound
That's
system.
really good.
That was not full volume. That's full volume. So like, it can get real loud.
Yeah, the system's pretty nice. Let's see.
We're just in, what mode are we in? We're just in comfort right now. We will go to dynamic for some blast to 60 as we go up here.
I do like the seats, a little, like, you
Like the
fit
sport
in.
bucket?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's a cool design.
Oh, that's a good question. Does the infotainment system drain the batteries?
Not in any appreciable way.
It's quiet. Super quiet.
Yeah, the cabin is really well insulated. And without them pulsing any sort of soundtrack at you, it's relaxing for sure.
Yeah.
And it rides really nicely. The adaptive dampers, the air suspension, it's all super smooth.
I'm 5'7" and stuff, so I fit perfectly
Yeah,
in the back. Yeah,
For
the back.
me, it was a headroom
Yeah.
issue.
No, I feel fine. The seats are like kind of bucket seats kind of thing, but they wrap like against your hips or whatever you want to say.
All right, we're gonna do a launch from
Okay.
0.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. And
Okay.
did you feel that shift?
Oh, wow, yeah.
You felt the shift. So like, there's a defined shift because this has a 2-speed transmission. Right around 54 miles per hour, it kicks super hard because it's shifting to that second gear that's to keep you accelerating, whereas other EVs typically, you know, they're like 0 to 60 blasters and they really start tapering off right around there. As you get towards 100, they start to like, the performance really wanes. But this and the Taycan sharing the same platform with that 2-speed transmission, they keep accelerating.
Okay, if this was fast, I can only imagine how fast
Oh,
the
the
Taycan.
RS?
No, the Taycan is.
Yeah,
because
the
you said that was like really
The
fast.
Taycan Turbo S is brutal. Like, the acceleration is absolutely brutal. The RS e-tron GT, also a very quick car, but that, like, in the low 3 seconds, the Taycan's like the high 2s. Like, that one hits really, really hard. We'll do another one. But, I mean, so, okay, for all those who are asking, like, does it depreciate at all when you're below 50% battery? I am at 40% right now, and that hit just as hard.
Mike here, YT asks, what's your favorite car?
Ford GT. Yeah. Anyone who watches my videos can pretty much chant that at this point. 2005 Ford GT, that's the dream car. All right, here we go. Gonna do another one. Okay. If you feel, yeah, it was like it, but it kept, like, it could have just kept accelerating ridiculously hard. The G-forces are so strong. Yeah, but it's like there's no ceremony, right? Like, there's no noise. It's just, you're just going.
AJ Lee asks, which interior do you prefer more, this or the Taycan?
I like this interior better. I think that this is a much easier to use setup. You've got these physical buttons here for the climate controls. And guys, like, this is why physical buttons are great, because you know exactly what you're doing without having to look at it. So these are great. The infotainment system is here, is awesome. Audi's MMI interface is great. You got the rear wheel steering with a performance package, so your turning rate is crazy good. And the gauge cluster looks really solid. I don't need the Taycan's additional screen on the passenger side. Obviously, as a driver, I wouldn't need it, but even as a passenger, you're like, okay, whatever. I'm just here for fun. So I prefer this interior to the Taycan.
How's the ride quality? How do you feel about it?
Really good.
Yeah. Really,
really good. I mean, Audi kills it with ride quality of their performance vehicles.
Yeah.
It's like they never feel harsh. The RS6, RS7, RS8, like, all those vehicles have amazing ride quality despite being on, like, these skinny tires and being the performance products that they are. This one most impressed me is, like, how heavy it is.
Okay.
And
literally someone just asked that question.
Yeah, it's so heavy. It's like 5,000 pounds.
Oh, wow.
But the ride quality is still amazing. That's
Sparsh asks, when are you reviewing the Range Rover Sport SVR Carbon Bespoke Edition 2021?
Oh, interesting. So I won't be reviewing that one. First off, guys, getting Range Rovers is very difficult because they just haven't had many in the press fleet. I could find a dealership and do one, but I'm not really about doing that. I don't really use dealerships. So probably gonna have to wait until they put a Range Rover Sport in the fleet, and I'm guessing that may be several months from now, unfortunately.
Yeah, I took a RS4, my friend has one.
Yeah.
And it's a girl. And went to Big Bear and stuff.
Oh,
crazy,
nice.
man.
Manual?
No, not manual.
Okay.
No, but man, dude, I was hitting those curves like no other, man.
Yeah. The RS4 is super nice.
I loved it. It was a nice ride.
It looks so good. The 4.2 V8, it's just a wonderful engine.
Let's see. Oh, what's that red light in front of the mirror? Oh, it's just
this is the compass.
Compass, yes. Oh, it is a nice car, huh?
Yeah, it's an E30. Beautiful 325i. Looks like he takes great care of it. I don't see, like, any blemishes on it at all.
How do the brakes feel?
Brakes feel great.
Brake test.
They feel really, really good. We'll get a chance to do something. I don't want to do a brake test with cars in front of me, and behind me, but be sure to watch, guys. Watch my test drive. Watch my drive review that are coming out. Both those I do a solid brake test on it, and the feel of the pedal is awesome. Even though it's got the regen, it doesn't have it's a very organic feel to the pedal, and then the performance is awesome, despite, again, the weight.
AJ Lee said, Range Rover Sport is due for a redesign. I doubt that it's gonna send any more press vehicles.
Yeah, they kind of put the kibosh on that even this year, earlier this year. So I'm guessing, we've got the new full-size Range Rover. We'll get a new Range Rover Sport later in 22, most likely, maybe even early 23. So probably don't look for a drive or a review until late 22, early 23.
Max asks, is it one pedal driving?
No. The regen on the e-tron GT is very mild, even on the full. So it's got 3 stages of regen. And on the full one, it's still like the slowest bit of regen that you're getting. It's not a one pedal drive, and Audi said they did that on purpose. I think they're missing out because one pedal driving is really cool.
Let's see. Sorry.
It's how quiet it is just sitting
super
here.
quiet. I like it.
There's a little, I mean, you can hear the traffic going outside, especially the louder vehicles, but it's pretty good.
It's not like the, what's that BMW that throws out the sound outside? The electric one?
Yeah, like the i8.
Yeah, man, I don't like that, man.
No, yeah.
It's
Well,
weird.
so it has to throw out some sound on the outside because it's actually a regulation that EVs can't be silent on the outside because people who are blind or otherwise impaired could be hit by an EV because they didn't hear it coming. So they have to put out some sound, but some go nuts with it. The e-tron just has kind of just this one sound, and the Taycan does the same thing. Actually, we'll travel a little further.
AJ Lee asked, does it get attention on the road? How you felt?
Yeah, definitely. And I saw one on.
You did. I saw it yesterday,
right? Yeah, yesterday I saw one on the road, and it was in like a dark blue. That looked so good. But like I could see other people were looking at that car. So yeah, it gets attention because people know this is not just an A7. Like I said, it's lower, it's wider, it looks crazier. So it gets attention for sure. I think more attention than the Taycan.
Really?
Yeah.
Except for that blue one though, because the last time I saw a blue one, a baby blue one, man, everywhere you go, man. Don't you feel like the door handles designs are from Lamborghini?
They do look a little Lamborghini. Yeah. I mean, obviously Audi owns Lamborghini, so you can see where some ideas would be shared. Nice 356. But I love them. I love the design of the door handles. The only thing I don't like about the door handles is, well, actually about the door mechanism is the doors are really heavy, and because soft close is not a standard feature, you have to really kind of close the door hard to get it to actually close. Otherwise, like I've had to do the back doors like 10 times before.
Sparge asks, what about the Range Rover Velar 2021? Are you doing a review on that?
Let's see. I did a Velar 21 video, so that's on the channel. So go check that out. I don't think I reviewed one, but I did a test drive for sure.
Max said, need to pull up a next to a Model Y and race it.
Dude, there's so many Teslas around.
Oh yeah, there's way more now.
There's so many Teslas around here, so that like I think I was in my night drive. I was driving next to a Model 3 Performance, and it was like trying to race me. I'm like, I'm not gonna race you. But my neighbor actually has a Model 3 Performance. He's like, oh my gosh, we got to drag race those because I think it'd be good. And I'm like, yeah, your Model 3 Performance might beat this too. But yeah, no drag racing for me.
I've heard the Plaid is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I want to drive it so bad, but Tesla doesn't have a PR department, so I can't get my hands on one unless someone who owns one. Anyone watching, if anyone owns a Tesla Model S Plaid and you're in the SoCal area, I would love to do a drive of that. Give you all sorts of shout outs and whatever you want on the channel. Throw in a shirt for you.
That'll be pretty sick. When can we expect a POV drive?
Well, I'll tell you what, if you want to know for sure when you can expect it, I give a 7-day preview of all my videos to my channel members at the co-driver level. It's like the $5 a month level, so that's one way for sure for you to know. But I think it's going to be like, I think it's 2 weeks because I've got some videos coming out from like the Yukon AT4 that I drove in the Denver area, and I've got, I think it's like a week and a half from now I'll start doing the drives.
AJ Lee said Tesla sales have increased more because of the they don't have a chip shortage, which is true.
That is true. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like in terms of EVs, I don't know what automakers are going to do in terms of percentage of, because like there's this finite number of chips. What are they going to do in terms of dedicating however many to EVs versus the regular vehicles? Like, Is there going to be an imbalance now? They're going to like throw all the chips at the EVs, none on the regular cars. Not none, but like fewer. I don't know. But I think that, yeah, Tesla having their own production of that really helps. They have a distinct advantage there.
Yeah, people are going crazy for the AMGs and stuff. They're buying them all out, man. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, because they're not doing anything for the 22 model year, which I know, like I reviewed that G63 and
I think this is.
oh, is it child lock?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, come on. Yeah, dude, it was on. Hang on. Nope.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Dude. Yeah, Patrick, you're stuck.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, no, so like I reviewed that G63 and like people were commenting, they're like, you can't even find these right now. So if you want to buy one, they're asking like 30 grand over sticker, and the allocation is so bad that a dealer will have it for like half a day, and most likely it'll tell its customers that it like likes, hey, we've got a G63 coming, and it'll get bought out before it ever even gets there.
All right, guys. Any more questions before we end it?
If not, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Support the channel. I also super appreciate that. Check out all the drive videos I'll have coming out on the e-tron GT, including a drive review. And have a great weekend.
I'm gonna do one
more pan around the
Yeah,
vehicle.
because I feel I've read that I don't do the turnaround.
Don't do enough panning?
Yeah.
Guys, there'll be plenty of panning because all my POVs, I walk around the whole vehicle, but
Like this for sure, I'd like that, man.
yeah, that angle looks good. It looks so low. It really does look like R8 level low, but with 4 doors.
All right, guys, we're gonna end it now. Have a good weekend.
Thank you guys. Have a
Stay
great
safe.
weekend.